Marvel's Spider-Man, the Sleepless Spider. Spider-Man had been called a great many things. Amazing, spectacular, sensational. But today, no matter how hard Peter Parker tried, he was none of those. Today, Spider-Man was very, very sleepy. For the last week, Peter couldn't sleep through the night. His dreams were troubling, silly, and sometimes downright spooky. And a week of nightmares makes for one sleepy crime fighter. Peter didn't think much of it, however, until one very long spider yawn almost allowed Shocker to ruin the policeman's ball. Oh dear. Spider-Man groggily swung into action. He webbed Shocker's gauntlets before knocking the vibrating villain to the floor with a well-timed kick. Look! Not only is he a menace, but Spider-Man was sleeping on the job! J. Jonah Jameson shouted from his table as Spider-Man swung away. Spidey knew he needed to see a specialist, someone who was truly an expert on dreams and the human mind. And he knew just the doctor to call. Soon, Dr. Strange was able to see Spider-Man's dreams. In some, he was back in elementary school and forgot to wear his pants. In others, he had nightmares about the Sinister Six winning every battle. Dr. Strange could not only see the future and the past, he was able to see right into a man's very soul, and tonight he intended to venture inside of Peter Parker's mind. Strange told Peter, "Your sleep is interrupted not by the natural, but by the supernatural. Your dreams invaded by the most dastardly of nocturnal threats. Your mind is plagued by the villainous nightmare himself." With a snap of his fingers, Strange placed Peter into a deep trance. With the help of the eye, Strange took a deep breath, then dove into Peter's dreams. Peter once again found himself pantsless in front of his entire class, and though he was embarrassed, he was no longer alone. Dr. Strange stood tall beside him, urging him to see the nightmare for what it truly was. "The dream is yours to control," Strange told Peter. Peter concentrated, and the class vanished. They were replaced by the master of bad dreams, Nightmare, and his trusty steed, Dreamstalker. "The Sorcerer Supreme commands you to release your hold on this hero," Strange shouted, but Nightmare simply laughed. "Ha ha ha ha! I take the power from dreams, Strange," Nightmare began, "and with a hero as strong as Spider-Man, I'll finally be great enough to defeat you." As Strange and Nightmare launched into magical combat with each other, Peter knew he had to help the Sorcerer Supreme. In a trance or not, Spider-Man had to lend a hand, and they realized he knew just how to do it, by using the power of his mind, by using his imagination. Peter thought and thought and thought as hard as he could. To his amazement, the dream around him began to change. They weren't in Peter's school anymore, but on a giant chessboard, and Spider-Man was in control of the pieces. "It would seem Spider-Man is using the powers of his own dreams against you," Strange declared to Nightmare. Spidey played move after move, defeating Nightmare's pieces until the villain was the only one left in play. Outnumbered, the villain retreated, leaving Peter's mind. "You've won today, Strange, but you've not seen the last of me," Nightmare shouted as he rode Dreamstalker out of Peter's mind and back into his home in the Shadow Realm. "I look forward to defeating you again," Strange smiled. Peter woke with a start, pleased to find the good doctor waiting with a warm cup of tea. Spidey swung home, changed into his pajamas, and slipped under the sheets. There were no monsters under the bed, and the only thing in his closet were his regular clothes and his spider suits. So for the first time in what felt like weeks, Peter Parker finally got a good night's sleep.